Professor Antari is here, and my sidekick, Mind Strider.
Okay. I have no idea.
For those who are joining us and those who are not, we are streaming just basically our normal testing. So we're calling this the Neurocenter. It's where we are right now testing Waterborne and Bloodcrown, and we're doing a lot of testing lately. And so today we're going to be going, as you'll see, Bloodcrown has a test deck. This is not AlphaGuard. This is actually Waterborne. We'll be showing cards as we move along, but we're actually just going to kind of immerse ourselves into the testing. So we'll try to communicate. We have Josh over here who will be letting us know when new comments come in, and we'll try to involve those who are watching. But really, as I said, when we do the Neurocenter, we're really focusing on our work, not so much a streaming broadcast, if you will. So just bear with us. And today, anybody who wants to participate and give us feedback through the live stream, please let us know. For example, if you think some cards may be overpowered, or you think, hey, this would be a cool new rule to try, please let us know, and we'll be happy to try them on the fly even, because right now Waterborne has got a long way to go. Bloodcrown has a shorter distance to the finish line, but in both cases we have plenty of changes that are going to be made between now and whenever the end is. So without further ado, Brandon, you ready?
Yeah.
Everything cut?
No, I think we need to cut each other's down.
Okay, so we do, as we say, always test in a more traditional fashion, meaning, or less traditional fashion. We play a real game. We don't try to emulate we don't try to fake the test rules. We see how things work in the process. So 5-5, 4, 11, you get to choose. All right. So here we go. We'll kind of explain. We don't play. One thing we don't do is we don't play it as a serious game. We try to keep a faction card in the middle. We do try to play all the mechanics of the game, but I'll share a few cards as we get them. I don't know if you can see it real well. Let's see, because is it going to be, all right, so this is a Ghost Horn. It's hard, it's not really going to, because it's keeping the focus, Josh, so it won't really help. And as you can see, a lot of these are overwritten and hand changed. You can't see that very well. So I'll read them as they go. All right, you're up.
All right, so
one faction, but it's not a good one.
Yeah, so I'm gonna let you go.
Of course you are. Okay, I'll just start with that. We played Ghost Horn yesterday. Draw a couple new cards to the board, so I'm likely to play that again. I will. So Ghost Horn is the opposite of Skinworm. We played her yesterday, or him. Ghost Horn is going to reduce a movement each time he chooses a starting card. So that allows me to affect him. Like Skinworm with Edge Hunter adds a movement, I can reduce a movement.
Okay.
By the way, these icons, just to mention again, this goes with, we've chosen a name for what we call the traders, the constructors, and the, what do you call the? Navigators. So we have navigators, constructors, and traders. These are called disciplines. That's what we have. If someone has a better word than disciplines, let us know. But right now, it's like elemental powers. These are disciplines. So go ahead.
Well, hold on, Josh. Look at the stream.
What's wrong with the stream? Oh, we're frozen?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Oh, on our screen.
We don't see anything.
At least for YouTube.
Yeah, because I have it turned off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we don't need to see it twice.
Yeah.
Right.
Good. Well, we're still streaming. Thanks, Brendan.
Yeah.
Want to make sure.
It's all right.
If you see the green light, you're good.
All right.
So I guess I'll take. This is gonna be weird. So these two. I take this.
No, because I'm reducing your movement.
Oh yeah.
The no plus move.
Okay.
So you just have to
two draws. Purples and blues are coming out.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I think
So what are we gonna play?
we're gonna go with checkmate.
All right.
So let's draw 2 community cards, and then draw 2 random afterlife cards.
So checkmate is a pretty good card. It's for those that know Dawnlight, they know Epic Flood. This is similar to Epic Flood, but with a little bit more control. And you still have to give 2 to me and 2 to him.
I get 2 of my recruits and 2 of his recruits.
So similar, except it takes 2 afterlife cards as well.
Okay, so I'm gonna take 10 and the 5, give him the 4 and the 1, and end my turn.
See you Frisbee's asking if you can cheat. Not up to date. Today, but some might be. So just so you know, some of our alpha testers have access to some storyline and other things. It's not the master file, so we have not updated those in a while. But some might still have the rule. Ghost Horn, for example, has remained, the correct rule. So how many points did we get?
It was 10 total.
All right, so 10 total points. And how we calculate points in our testing is he's going to add these and subtract these, and that comes to 10. So that action card
scored 10 points.
Scored 10 points, which is a decent action play. It's not the high end, it's median, or a little lower than middle, but not bad. 10 points is an okay action play. So it fits in the range. We like to see action cards ranging from 8 points to 18 points to 17 points in that range, kind of 17 there. In the median, perfect action cards averaging out at 13, 14 points.
Yeah.
If it's a little on the low end, there might be some control things, like for example, he controlled some of the afterlife. So we evaluate after we get points what you're actually doing when you're controlling things. All right. So end of turn.
Was that?
So I'm up. Shoot, I've got I got one option if I want to do it. I really don't, but I'm testing. So 1, 2, 3, and -1. So I'm going to give him a whole lot of points that I don't want to usually give him.
Wish we both did, actually.
Yeah, we don't. It's not typical, but okay. So I will play the Norseman. All right. So this rule is definitely not up to date on the cards. The Norseman. We just changed the rule because he scored 102 points on our last test. So we have decided, he was actually, funny little story with him, the Norseman was originally the original rule for the Negotiator. For those that know the Negotiator, he would swap at the end of every turn. You get to swap a card with the opponent's side. The problem is you could place him strategically in a position where every time you swapped, it would just create too many points. So now we've changed the Norseman. He can move between the Loyalist and Recruit row, and he can kill purple cards basically when he moves into those rows. So right now there's no purple in this row, but he can kill all purple cards that land in the opponent row. So if I move up to here, I kill his 8. So he just moves back and forth around the rows.
The same thing would happen is if he could just move the 8 back
to this row, and if there's a purple matching. So he's kind of got a Bladestorm effect.
He's a legendary Bladestorm.
But he's a legendary Bladestorm, more or less, because you can move him between the rows and attack the opposite rows as you want. All right. End of turn.
All right.
No faction cards. You went first, or I did.
Yeah.
Faction cards.
All right.
Nice serenade from Josh.
Why don't you do whatever it takes to draw a lot of cards like that guy?
Okay. Yeah, because that's
you can make
3.
the 13 too. And then
Yeah,
you draw,
4.
Yeah, that's 4 cards. All right, so we're gonna get some factions out here. Hopefully, that's 4 draws. 1, 2, 3, 4. End of turn. Can you believe that?
All right.
No faction cards.
Out of all that, well, you can do some more draws.
I'm about to. So I'm gonna draw a bunch more, and I'm gonna draw another one with that, and there's no grays, so we'll draw 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I did a lot better than Brandon did on that. All right,
so we have plenty to play.
Now we got factions. All right.
Okay.
We could just keep drawing until we get a faction, but we try to stay true to the game mechanics as best we can. But now we've got a couple things happening on the board, and I didn't reduce your moves last time, by the way, so you could draw the extra cards. So
Either here, do you want to just move
move him up.
back? Yeah.
Which means he should actually be here
From
that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I guess I'll just take this.
It's not bad.
Take 2 of these and
the
either 5 or draw.
Okay, so we got one draw.
Yep. Okay. I think.
And by the way, the Norseman, another item on this, he cannot be removed. He can be removed. You can't kill the card, and the card is now positioned in these 2 rows. You cannot move them. But,
locked into those 2.
But he cannot move the card. Only I can.
So I'm gonna play the bishop. So I'm gonna need one of these, and
yeah, we were going to remove some faction cards. I mean, remove some non-factions, but we just, you know, we try to emulate so that the final score feels like it was legitimate no matter what. So what'd you do?
So I'm playing the bishop on my 7.
All right.
And so
what does the bishop do?
For those who don't know, the bishop is now locked from the recruits row. It can only move from recruit to recruit, and every time she goes from this recruit to this recruit, she can take cards with her.
And she can also take a negative card back over here if she wanted to.
So that was in turn.
Well, that seems easy for me. I'm going to do that. I'm going to move the 8 here. And I'll take the 4 here.
Okay. So then we're going to move the 8 or the 7?
For what?
For the red.
Move the 8 back out, and then I'll move your 5. I'll move the -3 to you.
Ooh.
You can take it back to me, maybe. All right, so that kills your 8.
Yes, it does.
So we'll track that. So Norseman has a +8. All right, let's see what we get here. Okay. All right, this one's going to be an interesting one, too. I'll play Thorkel the Strong.
Ooh.
So here's a cool card.
Is that Thorkel or Thorkel?
Thorkel.
Like snorkel?
Snorkel, but Thorkel.
Yeah. Thorkel the Strong. So what he does, he allows you to go into your deck, take any card you want. I think did we determine that we're not allowing it to be a legendary or no?
We talked about it, but I don't think
we haven't made the decision. So I can go through my whole deck and decide, why would I take my legendary? Now it would matter, huh?
Now you would have to reshuffle now.
Well, the problem is, let me see what I got in here. I've played a bunch of these already. Let me see what else I got in here to play from. And you don't get to play it instantly. I get to check my deck.
You can add any 1 card to your hand.
Exactly. And I will, because this is, if I add it and if we did an instant play, you get to draw another, right? That was the idea.
So yeah, now that it enters your hand.
Yeah, so I'm going to do it.
Play it.
So a little bit on my deck, by the way. I built this deck. This is the first time I've played with all 3 disciplines balanced out a little bit, so I have lots of options. It's not how I probably would traditionally do it, but I'm going to go ahead and play. I have a lot of recruits, so I don't want that one. I'm actually going to go ahead and just take my my arc, which is one of the disciplines for navigation. I'm going to then reshuffle these, which is a shame because I had a legendary card
2 cards,
2 cards away, but such is life. Okay, so there you go. You cut. Thorkel's been played, and I then would immediately play that onto the board and draw another just to replace it, but I can't do anything more than that. So now he's on the board, and anytime a navigator is played, I get to move a card +1 or -1. End of turn.
Okay. I guess I'll take that. Yep. Take this 4. Push my 13 up. Take the 10. And we'll move the 4 back.
Okay. Somehow I have all the purples, even though I'm trying to kill purples.
Yeah. 1 draw. Alright. Well, we have another instant play, Deranged Union. For those who remember, that adds basically another turn to the game.
You know, it'd be an interesting thing before you go to make him, because now I feel like he may not be as powerful. I mean, he's definitely not, but he's now in a point where, as a legendary card, it would take an awful lot of purples on the board for you to be able to kill. So I wonder, another option would be, what if I moved it value? What if I moved it into a row with purples on my side, could kill 2 more cards like that. So you'd want to bank those. So I've used these. I can either kill a purple on this side, or if I can put a purple on the row, it triggers a kill of any card in the opponent row. So you might be able to do 2 things, but it's all killing.
Yeah.
So killing is not as valuable as swapping. It's not as valuable as moving, because you're simply removing points rather than swapping points or switching sides of points. So I'm trying to figure out, did we just weaken him so much? Because if no more purple come out, he'd have to get 30 points to really be a good high-end legendary card. How many points can I get if I already have the 12?
Well, so another thing would be interesting instead of 2 killings, it was if you move it on this side, now you can draw 2 more cards into your recruit.
Oh,
so he kills.
So he kills and draws. Maybe so.
He's like the military leader who can kill, and then he recruits people into.
Okay, well, let's try that. Right now, he's here, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
But it gives you, he should be something that's moving pieces around, doing different things. So yeah. I think the Norseman then, for those that played our contest, let's see, I like that idea, but might have to be triggered when he moves into it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. He would only be triggered if he moves. Exactly. You can't, so it would be 2 things would happen at once. If I move him here, then he would be triggered, but I then lose the ability to kill in the recruit row. So I'd have to make that move for that to happen. And say things that go to the allies, I won't be able to do.
Okay. So it'll be end of turn, and instead of moving it, it stays because of deranged union.
Okay. Well, this gives me the opportunity to test that theory out with the Norseman if I wanted to.
Well, then you have to take the 6 or the 3.
Or the 2.
Or the 2.
I'm trying to think, though, which one is best. But you'd have to move him. If I move this back to the row, would it still count? I think he should be. I
guess so, because it would be in the same row as him.
Well, let's say I do this. If I move it to this row, and I trigger it, and I move it back out, and I move it back in, I trigger it again?
That would technically be how it would work, yeah.
So, right now he's here. But do I want to test more cards, or do I want to do that? That's a real question. I kind of like the idea of not doing that yet. So I'm going to do this instead. I'm going to move him, move her, move that, move your 5 back, draw a card.
So this actually ends up not doing as much. So Royal Consolidation is place face down round effect, reveal after future opponent's move phase.
You can't see it at all, unless it's impossible, because it's anti-focused right now.
Yeah, it's anti-focused.
Maybe this way.
That's too far.
Just kidding. All right, so what was it again?
So yeah, you can reveal after any future opponent's move phase, any card moved on your side of the board that remains on your side can be moved directly to allies. And any cards that were moved into the neutral area from my side, but none were, so I just get that.
Oh, and one other thing, because we keep forgetting, because we're going on to the next one, we have to reduce your movements by 1.
Yeah.
So let's do, since I missed it, we'll do which one you move this? Will you move a gray? Him up?
I guess that was my last one.
I won't take your 10 away for that one. We'll leave him there. Okay?
All right.
The thing is, we should be tracking Ghosthorn. And I apologize, I have not. So the first thing, do you remember the first one I stopped you from doing?
It was also that, because I was going to bank it. But
so let's give him 10 points, because it could have been the brown. All right, so we'll just do that, but we'll keep the brown there. Got to remind myself. All
right.
So here we go. I have to play a card, right? I don't have. I don't have what I wanted, but we'll do this. We're going to go ahead and play Roanoke Clearbane. Swap any 2 cards on the board. Okay, so the first he's an epic, so any 2 cards on the board. So I'm going to go ahead and swap
13 and the 1?
No, I'm actually going to swap the 4 with the 13.
So you could kill
and
the
then the 4 dies immediately because of that. So that gives me 26 points for him.
And then minus 8.
But minus 8, so I got 18. And then, if available, I can play an action card as well. So I will, and I will draw for that one. I will play Fast Timbra. So as place and lasting effect, each card is moved with an art. Each time a card with an artisan is played, move 1 card from the neutral area. It doesn't matter what row I really put it in. Whoops, that wouldn't be. So I have to place it here. So I'll place it here. So anytime I play a green card, I can, or it's not even artisan anymore. It's a trader. No,
constructor.
Constructor. So constructor, I get to move a card from the neutral area. So end of turn, and we'll see where that goes.
All right.
So he also gets an extra 4 because he did kill that card.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the Norseman is going to end up being one of the leaders of the faction. By the way, very interesting card.
Yeah. Okay, so all right. I'm gonna take 2. Move. Oh, okay, so what are you gonna restrict?
I'm gonna restrict your red movement.
Okay. And so keep the 9 just in case.
You got a free 10 last time. So I'll say Ghosthorn got. You weren't gonna move. You're gonna move the 7, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was, and I was gonna get rid of the negative 30.
But I'll do 8.
Yeah, that's still there.
So that was a good counter actually to the bishop.
Yeah.
Is that card, which is nice, actually.
And yeah, so that's it.
It's interesting to find those things like little counters that we haven't predicted yet.
Accidental combos.
Yes. So we'll take the 13.
Okay. I'm guessing this is moving back.
That's one of them.
And then the 5
and the 10.
Yeah. Let's see.
You can bank the 2.
Okay.
Now what can I do? Oh, so if I move the 6 here, I don't get a bonus. Is that true?
No, we either said that
you have to move it into a row. This has to move into a row with a purple.
For the draw bonus?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that how we're gonna do it?
Go ahead.
It'd be interesting if he did both. Should we try it this way and say if you get a purple in the row, or should we say it has to be moved? I think it has to be moved to give it the advantage. That way you have to use a move for that to occur. I don't know. It's maybe harder to track that way.
Well, if you were to do it this way, then now you could just move them back between the rows. Now you have 1 in each. So.
Well, that's what I think. It has to be moved in. So it requires me to maybe take a non-faction to make that happen. So let's just play it like that and see what happens.
All right.
Okay.
Move this here.
Okay, so this is the time where I'm gonna play Soul Gatherer. This is gonna be the shuffle. This one I can't count. Can't go anywhere. So I shuffle these together. Soul Gatherer.
Well,
what?
I mean, it can't go to your allies.
But it could be moved to Loyalists. Yeah, I guess it could. But what if I draw it?
So I guess if it was one of the 3 you draw to
allies,
it either doesn't go and you do a new one.
That's what I'd have to do. Because it can't go.
Or it just doesn't go and you only get 2 instead of.
It could go to Loyalists randomly though.
Yeah.
But it will. Okay, well let's talk about the purple cards. So it lands in a row. If there's other purples, I get to actually kill those purples. Because it's going to land in the row with purples in it. If it moves. If it doesn't.
Well, unless it's the first one in the row, then.
Does that matter?
Well, because if you do Loyalist Recruit,
it's still if it changes row. Well, let's see how it plays out. If it stays in the recruit row, then it didn't move rows. So it's back where it started, so it couldn't do anything. I think if it moves into Loyalist, it doesn't matter the order of the cards that come out, I don't think. So if it lands and there happens to still be a purple, it should get the draws. But only if it moves rows.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so you want to cut?
All right.
All right, thank you. All right, so 3 to allies, right?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Okay, well, 1 purple's off the board. Then 1. It did change rows, but it didn't get anything. So we don't even get to experiment with that. But I did reduce again that size. So now he goes back on to here. Because he can move, you can play that card. If he can't move, he would be just taken out.
Yeah.
Okay, and I did play this, which does activate, so I can take a card from the neutral area. I'll go ahead and take the 8 and draw a card. So we hopefully get a faction out there and 1 more. We did, so that worked out. And Fast Timbra is going to get a 8. So +8 for her. Ghosthorn did nothing, and
Soul Gatherer is
this guy did nothing either. Soul Gatherer.
It's going to be an NA, really.
It's an NA card, yeah. That card is like, it's a useful card, particularly with this faction.
Especially if he had managed to get both the 13s in there, it would have been really
well,
good.
with the Constructor, you think of it this way, the Constructor, you're trying to reduce your recruit row, because when you're playing cards and you're doing the plus to this row, you want the recruits to be minimal, minimalized. For sure. So, which is a good counter versus the Messenger too, because you're gonna try to keep the recruit row smaller. So, all right. Oh wait, we already did that. So you're up.
Okay. So I have to move. All right, I guess. Yeah. I'll give you the. Now I'll just move both these back.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna have to give up the 4. No draws for that. Okay. This is interesting.
Okay.
So we have Feast. So Feast says move 1 card on the board on my side of the board to opponent's recruit loyalist row. Kill all cards that match the community color of the card placed. Kill up to 18 points
So you can
plus
only
the value.
kill 1.
Yeah, but it's also a good combo now that I have the bishop back over here. So that way, if I get a movement, I can move it back. Since I can only kill 1, because that's only, well, no, because of the +7. Because I have to use.
Yeah, but I don't get those points. I guess I do have those points.
The points are yours.
So you can kill them both.
Okay. Turn. That was. Okay.
All right. You only did 1. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So in this case, I will then take this. I will go ahead and bank my 13 and move his 4 out. So there's a faction. I will move the 5 up, but I didn't move the Norseman back. Or is there another one? There is not. So I don't get any bonus with that. +2 would be the 4, and that will draw 1, 2 cards, and then an end of turn.
All right.
Okay. So no bonus here because I moved that into the row. He has to move. That's the problem with that. Makes it a lot more difficult to get that bonus. Right now the Norseman's got 12 points. This is the problem with that card. If you can do this, then suddenly it can create more points, but it might be too weak now.
Well, that's why I'm thinking that it doesn't.
If you move anything, a purple has to move into a purple row with it, or you have
because
to. Because
it's only a random draw, so it's less valuable than being able to choose what to kill in the other row. So that's why maybe that would be the better thing is to allow.
Well, maybe that's the other thing, is when there's a purple in the opposite row, you can kill any card in that row, not just the purple card.
Oh.
That's another option to make it more powerful. Well, let's just keep playing it like it is for this game.
And we'll see.
And we'll see.
Play it as it lies.
All right. You heard the ref?
One thing I'm learning about this deck is when you separate 3 different ones, it makes it a lot more difficult to combine.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my test for this game, was to see, because I'm getting red, I'm getting blue, and I'm getting green. So what'd you do?
I'm going to take the 6. What are you going to minus? Green, orange?
How about the red?
Okay, so then I would just have to move it back.
Right. But you can't take my card.
I can.
Why?
Because the first, that'd be -2.
Oh, because I'm adding one.
You're adding a negative.
Well, then, yeah, that's right. So it's green. Would that be obvious?
Yeah, the green, okay.
So you move this back.
So yeah, for bishop, both plus and minus movements work because it can only move from recruit to recruit or loyalist to loyalist.
So it's harder on the minus ones.
Yeah.
Now, if I had Skinworm on the board and
He could have
Ghost
stopped
Worm,
that.
yeah, Skinworm would be good against that card. So Skinworm
Mm,
is
yeah.
the both of them are really nice against the bishop in their own way.
Okay, so green, and then did you move the?
I did.
Okay. Yeah. It's a draw and end of turn. Last round.
Ooh, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Actually, it probably would be a good time to take it. Because part of the move, you couldn't take the 12, could you? Or you could, probably.
Because it would have to be in the row first.
Problem is, that's a tough card for me to deal with anyway. So I've got to figure out what I can even do to mess with it. I can do something, so I will. Alright, so we'll do that. We'll take the 6. I might as well just move 1 back.
Okay.
The 3 here. Let's see. -1. I have to get rid of that. Okay. I hope I get something. Oh, I did. Well, it's not very good. I got Torn Axe Brock, but not 3 Union cards I can move, but that's not good enough. So I'm gonna play Mechanize and swap this for this.
Okay.
And what else do I want to swap? Well, this one's not good. Yeah, actually, this one's great
I can't really do anything
because you can't move it back for this 6. All right, and that's it. End of turn. So there is a faction for you, but it's a very bad one. So basically what I did there is because his bishop would only get 1 movement with this faction, he can't move this card, there's no other purples, and he would have to move the 7 to me, and then I'd get the 7 at the end of the game.
Unless he decided to make that a -2.
And if I decided to do that.
Wink, wink.
Yeah. The 4 is still out there for him to get a faction, so.
Yeah.
But that was probably the best move I could make given the circumstance.
Yeah, so
I didn't have anything. I did have F the Man. I could have played it on your row.
yeah, I had blues and browns.
But I couldn't leave that 12. That
Yeah.
12 probably lose the game guaranteed with that.
Okay, well, move the 6 and then the 8. All right. Okay, so maybe Alicia Del Hart will give me something, so she's gonna let me draw 3 more. I can choose
All
one.
chess pieces.
Yeah, yeah.
What'd you get? Why don't you just show it?
Okay, so I got Triton, Godspeed, Grandmaster, and Black Mirror. Definitely.
Well, you might have to, because what else are you gonna play?
I couldn't play him because he's revealed at any time.
Yeah, and what does he do?
So at any time, kill 1 card in opponent's recruit row, move all cards at the same value of the killed card
So
in
you
that
can
row.
kill 12 points.
Yeah. So I mean, it's,
You could take 12 points if you could get a Black Mirror with both those colors. And
Let
the
me get-
Grandmaster
okay, let me
can't
grab
do
Black
nothing.
Shade, yeah.
He can't do anything for you. So,
so,
you're
I
gonna
mean,
kill
he's
that.
got to be he's the best play.
12 points.
Okay.
And that's that. That was a easy, quick test. It's funny how we play test games that when we're not streaming that are ridiculous. Our last game was 168 to 128, I
Yeah.
think. And this one was pretty simple. But it's okay. Each game is different. It's part of the problem with that is your deck. I mean, you shouldn't put the Grandmaster in anyway, because I'm not going to remove your cards.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll count mine up real quick. 25, 30,
Just grab
40,
this.
50, 70, excuse me, 62. Is that 50?
And-
I'm losing track. 25, 30, 40, 50. That's 62,
12.
72, 73.
All right, so that is 5 gone.
Wow.
10, 20,
A lot of cards.
30. So we got that. 50. 70. 291.
Figure that out.
91 to what?
74. I guess so.
All
Let's
right.
see.
91.
So that wasn't bad.
For Bloodcrown.
Let's find
Takes that one.
Let me
That wasn't
swap
bad
out
actually because
this guy.
I'm gonna throw in some non-cards. I don't know if that one's gonna work. We try this one and we'll try that one. Okay. I have 23 cards in my deck, by the way. I'm still playing with a whole lot of cards. Let's see here. I'm watching myself again. Pretty cool.
You're famous, man.
Oh yeah?
You made it to the tube.
Which two?
Oh, when you're doing tests, the odds of us being famous are very, very low. Because testing online is, this is more for our diehards than it would be for the average watcher.
Well, anyone who's
It's also
interested.
for us because we need to do the testing.
Yeah, I mean that's actually the reality. Is we actually we try to take every day a few hours to test when we have the hours, when we have the time to test. The hard part is we do it all the time. So we're like, well, now that we have streaming equipment to do it, why not just let the community, whether they watch it live or not is kind of irrelevant. It's you can participate. You don't have to participate. You can watch it. You don't have to watch it. We're doing it anyway. So this is just two of us testing, and usually a lot of times we have more people. But in this case, we are trying to at least, share, since we're at the final two factions, why not let you guys kind of see a little bit of what's happening. It's just an interesting process. You cut these?
Yeah, I cut them.
All right.
Yeah, we're actually about to install cams all over Randy's house, all over Brandon's house, and you're just going to get to hang out with them all day, every day.
Yes, well, we're only putting one cam in Josh's bathroom.
Just one.
Just one.
And then
Just one.
Steven's car, because he lives in his car
Yeah.
for some reason.
All right, this time it's, so we got the Great Hall. All right, for those who were really interested to see what the traders are doing,
Instructors.
No, traders.
Yeah.
Instructors are the green ones.
Yeah.
It's hard because we don't have the actual icons, but basically now you're going to get to see. This is really interesting. The Great Hall is a very interesting icon or discipline, how the traders work. But I'll explain it anyway. So if a faction card with a merchant, which is now called trader, is played, you may select a card valued at, we've changed this to, you may select cards valued at 10 or greater, combination, from the neutral area, put them in opponent's recruits, and remove any effect on the board that they have played. All right, so
you won the flip, so.
I won the flip, and I think I will go first.
You go.
It's not bad. I will leave the 7 for you.
Okay.
And we'll draw a card.
Draw.
I think I'm just going to throw a ship on the board right now. So ship allows me to take a card from here to here.
Which card are you putting it on?
Oh, I have to put one.
Yep.
That's right. So let's just take the 1. Might as well. All right. So now we got a ship on the board, and the ship is going to allow you to, in one movement, go from here to here. End of turn. You're up.
Okay. Well, it looks like either way, we'd be taking the -4. Can I do anything with it?
Do what?
The -4.
I don't know. I'm stuck with 23 cards. I got 2 neutrals in my hand, which are typically fine, but in testing, they're They're good, but they alter the games to the board a bit, so it makes testing a little bit more challenging.
Alright, fine, I'll do it. So that goes here.
You're doing it.
And that goes. Yep. Alright, no draws. What do we got? So I'm gonna go with Advisory Council. And it lets me view the next 5 community cards on the top of the community deck. I get to choose one, place my loyalist, and then place the others back in any order I wish.
Advisory Council. So it's just, again, you call it a little bit of a weaker action card from the standpoint of the points you could possibly achieve. 15 is the highest, obviously. But what you can do is dictate and control the next 4 cards that are coming out of the community. So he can put them in any order. Right now, he'd probably rather give me a faction so we can play. But we'll see what he did.
And end of turn.
So he gave me a faction so I can play, but he also gave himself 6 points and knows what else is coming out. Okay, but he gave me a faction that gave him 6 points. All right, so here we go. Well, I don't have anything really worth playing. I want to play this, but there's just too many cards. So I'm going to go ahead and just get one of these neutrals down because I don't have a choice, and that's a good one. I love getting a negative for neutrals.
Yeah.
For an inventor. All right. End of turn. Ooh, hello.
Draw.
Inventor. So,
all right.
well, you got nothing, but you can take every card off the board, which is what you should do.
And that's 3 draws.
Yep. Nice movements. 3 draws.
And end of turn.
Which this one actually has to come to me. End of turn. All right. So I'll continue the taking of these. I'm going to go ahead and do that and put that back into the middle so that you have a card to play with.
Okay.
Because there were no draws.
Yeah.
I am going to, here we go. Okay, so here is a new card for the traders. It's called the Swindler. Face up and round effect. What?
Just a funny name.
It's a good name. Well, this is why. Anytime he moves a card into the allies, he must take the lowest value neutral card and put it in my recruits. So every ally he banks, the lowest card comes here.
But not just mine, even if I end up having to bank one of his.
Mine. So it basically says, okay, you can play that, but you're going to have to give me cards. Now, in the last game, this card actually produced -1 points.
Yeah.
Because he used...
we had 2 negatives in the neutral area, and then I was able to use a card to get 2 afterlife cards.
Because I had
to
to take the negatives. So, and then I think I got a 4, and he didn't bank anything else.
Yeah.
So... but I also get this, so there's nothing on the board. But and there's not even enough points to fulfill it, so I can't even use that at this point. So, but I want the Swindler on the board for this. All right, so end of turn.
All right. Okay, I'll take it. Now I would probably bank the 8, but I don't want to give you any more cards, so I'll move that up.
Don't I?
So you get.
You banked something? You banked 2 cards for me.
I have to bank those 2, yeah.
So I get the 2 lowest in the middle.
Yep.
To my recruits. So Swindler's got 5 points. He's already doing better.
And there was 1 draw. All right. Okay. Guess we'll do that again. Deranged Union.
All right, we are extending it. I like the Deranged Union card. I really enjoy these factions with an extra round. Sometimes an extra 2 rounds. The games take longer, but it's a lot of fun to be able to set up things, because this is really these do require a little bit more brain power, a little bit more time to really make all your plays work. So you're playing her again.
Yep.
We determined that Alicia DeHart is one of the best cards for you to test with, because you can get through the deck fast. So he always takes her. We got so many cards while he was doing that. We got Arkin, who is move any 2 cards on the board +2, -2. And if you move one from the opponent's side, they get to choose a neutral area card. Half Grim. He'll be interesting. Half
Chris
Grim.
has a question.
Oh, he does? Okay. Let's see. I'm assuming that resolves at the end of move faction phase. You mean the Swindler? Yes.
Yeah, so
Basically-
you resolve at the end of the move phase.
Yeah, at the end of, whenever.
Actually, faction 2.
It's resolved at the end of any phase in which
It occurs.
is done. So if he does his moves, then yes, it goes there. If he finishes his faction, whenever that's all done, we resolve that again. And if he steals the end of turn card and places it in the allies, it's at the end of turn phase.
Okay, so I'm gonna do a mousetrap here.
Okay.
All right, and I have to do 2.
All right, bank your 7.
Okay.
Just keep taking them. Okay.
Oh wait, did I just move this?
You can't move it.
I know. I was about to say, did I just move
You
it?
might have, because I think it was 3, wasn't it?
Okay.
I played Inventor. This was an automatic, so I had played 3 times.
And
Was there any play that I
1,
didn't
2.
take a faction? No. I took faction.
Yeah. Okay, that's
Alright.
fine.
So I will play. I want to play this, but I want to see if I can get something first. So I'm going to play Apex Hydra. Draw 2 faction cards from both players' decks. Ooh. I can get rid of 2 of my neutral cards right away if I wanted to.
Probably one of mine too, knowing your luck.
Okay, I did. I got you. I've now seen a collective 5 neutral cards.
Read that one, Randy. His last comment.
What is it? Right. Let's see. Just making sure it doesn't have in the middle of movements. Otherwise, official order of movements. No, it would always be at the end.
I think so. Reading Swindler, is that what he's asking?
Yeah.
So for Swindler's rule says place face up and round effect, move the lowest value card in the neutral area to recruits. For each card opponent moves to allies.
Yeah. I mean, I would say the physical rules. None of these rules are written the way they should be written at this point.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way to compare it. It's every rule is kind of, we've written the rules, but we haven't fine-tuned anything. But the idea is conceptually we can kind of figure it out. Once we have the concept down, then we're going to tailor it. Then we're going to put all the little italices to make sure the rules stay. All right, so I get to play one now. God, I'm just deciding which one I want to keep. I'm going to get rid of this one. So I'll get rid of Breath of Life. I will keep this one, and I will play the Knight.
Okay.
And I have to play it in the neutral card?
Yes.
Okay. And you can't move it.
No, I can.
You can move it, but not
But
to
I-
allies. It can never go to allies. So the Knight, I don't know if we've even had this on the board yet. The Knight moves around and kills cards. Okay? So, not on my side, but it kills cards on his side. So
Every
if
time it's moved to my side, it kills.
So if I play it on the 6 or the 4, for example, and the gray, I can kill 6, 4, or gray. Is basically the way it works, right? It's
Yeah.
value or. So if I move the 4, I could kill this 4, this 2, but also that 4. The 6 is more valuable. I think the 6 is a good time to play it. I will put it on the 6. And the Knight cannot be, it can be removed, it cannot be killed. So it starts in the middle like that. I can move it to my side, he can also move it to my side. So now,
I want minus grays.
he wants to keep it over on my loyalists, is what he'd want to do.
Alright.
Alright, end of turn. But what's interesting is I can get it back to you faster with the ship. So that's what's it's kind of cool that I have the Knight.
Yeah. Okay, so 3. Yeah.
So another thing, he can't take that Knight as the starting card because it goes to allies.
That's true. So
It wouldn't
if you were to
stop.
take it,
I don't think you can even take it, can you? Can you move the Knight as a starting card? Does it say you can't?
I mean, it doesn't say you can't. Much like the Queen doesn't.
You can't. You can't do anything.
Well, I
with the
guess
Queen.
neither of us could if it's allies, or then would it just stop in loyalists?
Well, the Queen can go to allies. My allies.
Yeah.
I can take the Queen. You can't move the Queen at all. You can move the Knight.
Yeah.
You can move the Knight. I don't think you can take the Knight. I think the thing is your movements can move the Knight around.
Either way, I wouldn't really want to.
No, you wouldn't want to take it.
All right, so
By the way, the Game of Thrones music at the end is awesome. Off subject. But I listened to that music again, like that very last sequence in the slow-mo.
Oh, yeah.
The music is fantastic. Makes that whole scene work.
I need to go watch the last 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah, and for those that watch Game of Thrones, we don't want to give away any spoilers, but spoiler alert, I figured out something last night that I hadn't seen posted anywhere, but I rewatched it, and there's a scene, obviously, where...
Well, I think you should give people...
I said spoiler
Well,
alert.
yeah, so now they can mute if they don't want to.
If you don't want to hear it, spoiler alert, mute me now. Otherwise, we're in testing. We have like 5 people that are going to watch this. So here's the reality. Mute or don't mute, I'm going to tell you. When Jon Snow is battling or yelling, let's say at the dragon, and they think the dragon, people are like, why is he even yelling at the dragon? And there's no real reason for it. Maybe he's facing death or whatever. But actually, when you go back and play it, listen closely, because what he's saying is go, go, go. And what I believe that means, because they didn't want to ruin it, he's yelling at Arya to go across because he's distracting her so she can get, because through that little doorway is the place where the Night King is. So he's actually putting his life on the line, standing up and telling her to go because he knows the only way to get to the Night King, and he knows that she's got the skills of an assassin. So someone had to distract, and he's not. At first, when I watched it, I thought it was, what is he doing? Why is he yelling at a dragon? Anyway, sidetrack, but go, go, go is what he's actually saying.
See, a lot of people, for some reason, didn't understand the fact that the dragon was guarding the Night King. And they were just like, what is he doing with the dragon? I'm like, dragon's guarding him. What do you mean?
And that's why he's stuck. But people are like, he failed. But no, what he did is he was willing to give up his life to get Arya across the courtyard and through. But they didn't show you that because it would ruin that surprise at the end. And so it didn't quite click the first time. I just thought he failed.
Yeah, and so that's the end of the Game of Thrones talk, and now back to Waterborne versus Bloodcrown.
All right.
Well, we're talking about the changing one of these to the Game of Thrones crown. Go ahead.
I'm gonna do feast again. Move my 7, which will kill these 30.
All right.
And at the turn.
Okay. Did you bank something though?
No. Oh, I actually did that.
I thought you did. So I get a neutral card. I'll take that one.
Okay.
What was end of turn?
The 4
So
actually.
I can't take
was.
that.
I mean,
It shouldn't happen.
so then take that 4.
Well, I should wipe that one then. So that we get a faction card. All right, no problem. All right. Well, now I will take this card
That was
and
15.
move that back. Move that back. The 6 gets killed, doesn't it? It is in the same row, or it's only on the opponent's side, I think.
Yeah, it's only when it's moved in my side.
So I move that back, and I get a blue. There's no blue, so end of turn. You're up.
Okay.
I haven't even used the ship.
Yeah, I mean, you could have used it right there when you were moving stuff.
Oh, I could, couldn't I? Oh, stupid me. I'm like, why am I not using the ship? Oh, wait, because it doesn't look like a ship.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's the problem with the test cards is you forget.
You know what sucks is now those don't draw. All right.
Night Watch. One thing that's interesting, I thought about it this morning.
That would be funny.
What do you guys think about, so Bloodcrown's this royalty, kind of aristocratic, medieval stuff combined with cyberpunk. I was thinking also about combining also doing a little bit more of, call it vampirism in with them too. Kind of combining some of the characters, not all, because the idea is these guys have all the money, they're very wealthy people, and they also want immortality. Some take that from a technology standpoint, but some start following the ways of vampires, even if they aren't actually vampires. We have the name Bloodcrown, so it kind of makes sense to have some characters like that. What's one called? What's that?
What's the -1?
We have the Night Watchman.
Yeah.
What?
Is
Did
he
you do
talking about-
anything?
Yeah. Oh, I took the 4 and my 7 back and the 3 out.
Okay.
I wonder.
Oh, this works out real well for me. So I'm going to take this, and then I go 1, 2, so I don't have to kill
But
it.
it's landed in the road.
I'll stop it. All right, then you got -1 here, and I'll just give you that. -1.
1 draw.
Got a draw there. I get a play here. I know what I want to do, but I can't do it. 'Cause I can't get that. Shoot. End of turn.
Well,
Don't know, man.
since there's no faction, I'm gonna
Nope.
do this. Move that there. We're gonna move this out, and this will move that out. Which then this dies from Mousetrap, and that's it.
Okay, so she's gonna let me change the community movements to whatever I want. It's interesting because I think I will take this back. I will change the purple to green, the gray to brown, and the black to red. So she got 28 plus 7. That's what she did. So that was good for Toriana finally. Toriana got 34 points. That's a hell of a move. But she got it because of the ship.
Yeah.
So if we wanted to be accurate, she would got 21 points. That's
Yeah.
probably what we should do because she's epic. I used the ship for the value. So the ship actually got, which was, doesn't matter, we just, all the ships would be exactly the same. The ship actually got 14 points, right?
Technically, yeah.
So
Well,
we,
it also got whatever you moved earlier.
yeah, so it got a 8, it got 4 points. It got
Yeah.
half, it gets half, doesn't get all,
Yeah.
right? So
It's the extra movement.
it gets the extra, so it would get 4, not 8. Because it's getting 7 and 7, that extra movement got it 4, but
Yeah.
it didn't get 28, for
It's
example.
the combo effect.
So right now the ship's got me at 8 points, but I hated doing that because really I hated having to not take the faction, but
Yeah.
I wanted to maximize her score value.
Okay, so
A Jack the Ripper vibe. Well, you know, Jack the Ripper is cool too. I mean, it could be a combo of a lot of things, but we're trying to give
Victorian style.
We're trying to give it medieval, the feeling of like, because I've always wanted to see like a cyberpunk medieval person. If you go Google that stuff, it just doesn't exist.
Yeah.
We're trying to create the test cards was almost impossible to get concept cards that I liked from a cyberpunk medieval look. It's almost non-existent. So doing something with the combo there, we would be creating a whole new kind of vibe that it's easier to do with some and harder to do with others. Like Edge Hunter, easier to get concept cards for the cyberpunk / steampunk /
Mad Max
Wastelander
Apocalypse.
thing. Easier to find other concepts of that, but it's almost impossible to find concepts of the medieval stuff. Waterborne is going to be interesting too because we're going kind of Viking edge, maybe a little piratey, but more hedging on the Viking and Nordic stuff. So there is the Viking cyberpunk dude. What's that guy? What's his name? Viking. I forget what he's called, but someone posted it once.
Yeah.
It's really funny. Anyway,
so I'm gonna go with Justicate Hammer. We're gonna kill 2 random recruits and 2 random loyalists.
well, that's a shame because I actually was gonna play this.
That's why I figured I should get it done before you get.
Let me play this.
No.
Yeah. We could have gotten some points. Darn it.
All right.
Why don't you try testing another card besides that one?
Well, you told me to
That's
switch
just
out the Grandmaster.
I said switch them out, but there's like the Queen, the King, or any other card besides this one.
Okay, I got 1 and a 2, so that's gonna give me the bonus of
but
getting 2 more
but
cards.
only 3 points
Yeah, only
for me,
killed.
which is good.
Yeah.
Now I wanted to have I had the card down that makes him pay me a card for every kill,
Okay.
and that would have been good. but-
Yeah. So then it was 2 and 1. So I get 2 cards, place in allies, an extra 10 points.
So how many did you get
So
total?
killed 10 points, 13, 23.
Yeah, something like that, Nick. It's a mashup.
Yeah. All right. And end of turn.
All right. So we'll go 1, 2.
Okay, so
But there's 3 movements, so I have to move that. And then +1. All right. It's kind of waste now. If odd, round down. It's a little late to play this one. I have just awful cards to test. These are really bad. I have a protect card again. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna take a different card. That's stupid. I can't play Fast Tembra, so I'm gonna take that down. Okay, but I basically have. I'll play that. Okay.
Okay.
Because I didn't get anything, so that's the only card I got
but you can remove Mousetrap.
to give you 10 points for it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be worth it, I don't think.
Yeah.
Maybe I do. If there was a 6 in the middle, I would. All right, well, we'll just show you how it works. I have to pay him 10 points out of the neutral area if it's available to his recruits to remove.
I mean, you don't have to.
I don't have to, but that's what the Great Hall does when you combine these two things. And I also now, it's too late, when an opponent takes a card from the afterlife, they must move 2 points from their side of the board to my side for every card taken from the afterlife. So it's a 4-point move, basically, for if he tries to restore anything. So I figured that one's good. I actually have another card here, which won't get played, the Dampening Spirits card that would kill 1 random recruit anytime a card is killed, up to 1 kill. So the one you just played would have just killed 1 card, because that card effect killed 4, but it would have protected. So you can have both of these on the board to protect from kill and afterlife, but that one won't get played. All right, so I have to draw 2 here, and an end of turn. Or no, that's it.
That would, yeah. Okay. Well, do that, and then you can bank your 7. I'll move that back. And then, so because I had to bank the 7, right? You get
Yep. I get a card.
the lowest in the neutral area.
So we get this. Hello. So we get this, and we got
That's
2
2
here.
draws.
1, 2.
Okay.
So so what do you got?
But you know what I was originally going to do is now with all those cards in the afterlife, I was going to play Lady Sapphire.
Oh, you should try it.
But see now, if I draw up to 4 random afterlife
Well,
cards,
at least we'd get.
I have to give you.
Yeah, but that's okay. You'd have to give me 8 points.
8, which would end up being 16.
Yeah,
And the
but
only
at
way
least we get scoring for both of them. And there's a lot of points in there. Why don't play it? We don't have any real good data on her.
Yeah.
We have some.
She'll be still good if I can get the 9, the 12, and whatever the next 2 highest cards are.
And where do they go? Starting position.
They're
right?
starting.
So this is like Violent Deceiver +1. So totally perfect legendary card. So 4 gets to choose 4 cards. He's gonna have to pay me for each of these 2 points.
And I could stop here if I wanted, but
Finish.
we're gonna do all 4.
We're gonna get some data.
All right. Well,
You didn't get the 9, but you got the 12.
yeah, I got the 12. So it's gonna go here, and these 2 here and here. So I have an 8. Okay, I have an 8, which I can just give you that.
Okay.
And yeah, that's
So that card got my
oh god.
Death Dealer. got 16.
Yes.
So that's about
She got 24.
24. All right. Well, I'm going to take the military commander, I think.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see
If
how
you're
we
still
can do
thinking,
this.
I wouldn't though.
We'll take the military commander. We will take the 5. 1, 2, 3. We'll take his red. This is where the card works real well. 1, 2, 3. And we will then move the green +1. Good thing I don't have the recruit one down on the board.
Yeah.
Okay. No draws? No, because I took this from your side, right?
The green, or did you
No,
take that
from
from
here,
Yeah.
+1.
Okay.
Oh, what do I get? How about an extra round?
All right.
Oh, nice. Eros Windstride. Okay, this is a non-affiliated card, which is one of the first that I've played. Eros Windstride. Move 1 law enforcer and 1 entertainer directly to your loyalist. If both, hold on, if both come from opponent's side, opponent gets, what is it? Opponent side, opponent gets recruit, but it doesn't say if you get it from, because
Okay,
it's.
let's just double check.
So I take that.
Eros Windstride
And I take this.
Draws 1 community card to the recruit.
So you get a card here. Okay. So he actually did really well because you happened to pull that 12 out.
Yeah.
That's 24 plus 5, 10, 34 minus 7. So that's about.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
34.
Yeah,
'Cause
because
the-
12 to 12,
the
5 to
5
5. No, 5 came from you. You have both.
Oh, you. Oh yeah.
It said if you take both
Both,
from
yeah.
the opponent's side, you get a card. So I did. I took them both because there's no orange in the
Yeah.
middle. So that's 34 minus
Yeah.
7. So 26. And no draw. Oh, now there is. So I get my inventor.
Oh, and 3.
1, 2, 3.
Okay. Well, that 4 is also
And
yours.
there's an end of turn too, because that was just a draw.
Both of those, by the way. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's another draw from that 9.
Yep. Well,
So all the greens came out
That
at
changed
once.
the game pretty drastically with the inventor.
Oh, I guess I'll just go ahead and take this.
But we do get another round
Or-
here, so there's that.
Now I want a faction.
All right, what questions we got? Blade, Unarmed Field, Blood Constants, Technology, Aspect, Cyberpunk, Hierarchy System. Okay, let's see. Werewolf. You want a werewolf? Okay. Maybe that'll be the Monsters faction. Some sort of feral segment of people. Well, these people have money, so maybe
Well, I mean, edge hunters.
you could throw some monstrous stuff into Bloodcrown where they've done some experimental stuff. There's one really hairy guy. So with the ship, it doesn't matter the faction card that's attached. No, the ships are going to be equivalent faction cards. So each ship it has a different name. So this ship, for example, is called Islinger, which means
It's Icelander.
it's the Icelander. Then you have
Goldbringer.
Goldbringer, which is gold breast, and then you also have Dreki, which means dragon, all in Norse, and all of them are the same. So you can place them. I actually only took 1 ship in this particular deck. It doesn't go with my deck, but I wanted 1 ship to place somewhere if I wanted, but I didn't take 3 of them.
And the reason we put them on behind a card is because they stay in that row. They can't be moved.
What do you mean by moves or skipped with different colors? Because I don't know what that refers to. Yeah, on the ship, the ship has no bearing on color at all. It's just movements, if that's what you mean. Yeah, it locks, and yes, it locks whatever that is. If you play it in the neutral, it just locks a neutral card. If you play it on your side, it locks that card, or his side, it will lock his card, and we get our points at the end. What you got? You got something big and powerful?
Well, I just kind of.
Doubt it.
Well, I could do this.
Oh, that's big and powerful.
Yeah.
You should do that, because it will make a big difference in this game.
Yeah, but then if you get another one of these, you can just remove it.
I don't have one right now. If put it this way,
Right now.
that's 25 points. You got
Yeah.
one round to play it, so wait till the next round. You got the last play.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. So which of all I'm going to do Durant Blade Slayer, kill one card on the board,
Okay.
and then draw 2 random afterlife cards, play some loyalists.
Nice.
So I'm going to have to do that again, but at least to get the 12 off. Maybe.
Did I put the points down for that kill card last time? Which one's the kill card? Death Dealer? I did.
Yeah.
So Death Dealer's doing good. Swindler, what's he not been doing? Oh, we haven't been counting it the whole time. How many cards have you
I
got
don't
in
I don't
allies?
think. No, I think
It
you
had
moved-
to. The last time I did it was
Is
for him.
that? And I
So you have
haven't
three.
moved these in though.
Who did?
I think you did.
I moved all of them?
Yeah.
Okay. Well then, good.
All right, and place in loyalist. Okay, I got the 12 back, and
But you got to pay me
8.
8 points.
Well, so I'll give you
4.
4.
I need 4.
There we go.
Okay.
And in turn. Oh, actually, it's not. Or,
No, because it now that goes away, so it is one more round. Okay, so I think I'll take this. And I haven't been restricting your movements either, I don't think.
no, because you don't have that card.
I know, but I haven't been restricting it. But I have not been restricting it. +1. And I know you have that other card, so. What's the other one? Blue?
You can move that, or you can take the 3.
Well, I'm thinking of setting myself up for the next move if I don't get a faction. End of turn. You don't
Well,
have a faction.
Since we have one more turn, you can use Swindler this time. I'll move this back, and I'll give this to you.
I can. So Swindler gives me
The lowest.
lowest.
So we're gonna have 2 draws to the neutral area. Ooh, that's great. And in the turn. Now, in the last round.
Well, now that's a clear play by me. We'll take this lovely guy. So
That's
1,
1,
2. All right.
Do you want your knight back? Since it's not gonna be killing anything.
Actually, yeah. I will take it. It's 12 points versus that. So
Versus
1,
9.
2, and then I can
Plus
take
one orange.
+1 orange, +1. Yep, 1 draw, and end of turn. Ooh. Well, you're gonna have to do that because you
Yeah.
have to play that card on me if you want any chance to win. I think. Right?
Yeah.
This came out too, didn't it?
No.
No?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. So that's a draw. So you actually get another option.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
that. Still gotta go with the.
yeah. You have no choice there. So.
Okay.
So what? You can't get it back anyway.
Yeah, but I don't want to bank it.
Why?
Because then you get another. Oh, you get the -3. So yeah, never mind. Do that.
Okay.
I'll move that, and then
Purple?
I guess the
You
4.
gonna bank both of those?
No, just the 4 because I moved my 5 back,
Okay. So I get another low card.
which is the 4,
Alright.
and then the gray.
So it's a +1.
So we'll move both these back,
Okay.
and yeah. Okay. Did you draw for
We
the
did
4?
not draw, no.
So-
And that would be for Swindler. He got another point.
Plus
2 points? What was
Well,
the other
yeah.
one?
So it was these
The
2.
1, and no, he also got the 1. So you got the 4 and the 1. Yeah, because you gave me that as the lowest card. When you banked the 12. Or you banked this, and I got
Oh
that.
yeah. That was.
So then these guys,
and that's 1. So
for
2.
Death Dealer? No, for Swindler too.
Swindler, yeah.
So we got 2 points.
Okay.
He didn't do much this game.
Yeah. So that's.
So I'm pretty sure you're going to play the only logical card.
Yeah, out of all the cards I have, this.
So he's going to
is-
put that on there, and that'll be the game. So let's see what we got. So I had to stick with the inventor. Oh, I don't get the inventor. That's right.
Okay.
These guys are gone. Ship is gone. And let's do the devil's advocate first. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 30 points got to go.
Okay.
So let's get rid of 30 right away.
You still have this 6.
Well, you can take that's 10 out. Right?
What, take it out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get rid of 30 points here.
Yeah.
Here's another 10. And here's another 10. So there's 30 points gone. And the rest we add. We'll see how that goes. Josh, what are you doing over there?
Trying to read up on some of this stuff.
Might as well.
You gonna?
No, this will be.
Yeah, this is it.
This will be it because we got to eat.
Yeah.
So let's see what we got. Oh man.
20, 30, 40, 50. This seems like a low scoring game, at least for me, anyway.
Look at that. Whoa. Look. I did. Oh no, I had it here. I actually almost had the fives. The 5, 10. That's 14.
20,
negative 14.
30.
Wow. I sure got a lot of negative cards.
Okay.
All right, here's another 14 gone.
So
that's 44 points gone out of my hand. So what'd you have?
I had 70 on the dot.
So let's see what we ended up with after all those negatives. That's 20.
And I had 4 cards left.
That's 32, 42, 52, 62, 72. So that wins. 82, 92, 99, 104, 113, 117. So I got a good win, but what's interesting is, didn't you beat me last game?
Yeah.
So, pretty good. So let's see. Was there any other questions that we didn't answer because we were wrapped up in it? All right. So adds 1 plus 1. No. All right, Nick, to your answer on, does it go the other way? No. Skinworm goes the other way, plus 1, right?
Skinworm is plus 1 to yours, and Toyana is minus 1 to the opponent.
But if he's talking about the ship,
Oh.
the ship can go either way. So I can send stuff that way, but it can't for the opponent.
Yeah, I can't use it, but he
You can
use
choose to use it or not use it. You don't have to use the ship.
that too.
Let's see. I think adding a community as a rule part of the variant will add deeper strategy so that only one community color. Yeah, the problem with that is we've tested it and it doesn't do enough. The ships have no practical value when you just move one card through it, because if the community cards don't come out, you got 3 ships. You may have to spend 3 turns to get 3 ships on the board. And can you imagine if you spend 3 turns in those community, you lose every time, 100% of the time. What's more important is that they can just be removed with no effect either. There's nothing that says he can't remove that ship and it's gone. And a lot of times if I get 3 ships on the board, there's an epic card also that Water Scar that pulls 2 ships automatically onto the board. So you could have 4 of your faction cards all ship related. And if you use it all and he just removes the middle of the ship, suddenly you have a missing in the middle and a break in the chain. So there's ways to really defend against it, and quite frankly, it doesn't do a lot. He probably removes that if he might take the ship out real quick, and then you've wasted a faction play. Yeah, it's way too limited. Let's see. It's not as strong as you think. I mean, that's the thing. It takes a lot of things to get these things on the board. The other thing that we could do is maybe the opponent, one option is if ship used on the opponent's side, the opponent could use that ship. That could be something that you could throw in a little wrinkle to give the opponent some use of the 3rd ship. But then no one will ever play it. They'll play 2. Why would they take it from their side?
Or they're only doing it on their side.
Yeah, I think the other thought we did have before is the opponent could use it but has to pay a toll to use it. Yeah. That was something we had toyed around with. Kind of like in the last game you saw a little bit of it, but you have the ability, if he had a bunch of chess pieces on the board, I could have removed all of them had I had a heavy trader deck, because the traders can pay the opponent to remove cards. So the flip side to that is maybe there's a toll that can be paid. The opponent says, okay, I want to use your ship this turn. I give you 5 points. Yeah. Something like that. So we can toy around with it, but as we stand right now, I really don't want to change it because it hasn't really affected the outcome of the games too much. The ship can be used, but you still have to be able to move the cards, and you'll find it. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, if you don't even have the option to move them from over here, it's about the same as my mousetrap, where I only killed 1 card the entire game.
Yeah, and the mousetrap has a lasting effect. is something that can be a preventative measure to one community. The other thought is, here's another little thought. You could say you can't use the color of the card that you have chosen for each ship. So if I use an orange and a red, then those two colors are barred from being moved. I'd want to do an orange and orange and orange if I could possibly do it, because then only orange would be barred from moving. That's also a pretty interesting idea. So you've got the toll idea, you've got barring the card that you've chosen color to move, but I think you have to have more movements allowed than a single community in this particular case. I mean, you think about some of the other cards. Inventor can invent and can really kick some butt. Well, what's the difference? An action card and a neutral card might have more upside power, but an action card should have some power, and one ship doesn't give you an awful lot of power. It gives you a movement. You can flip sides pretty quick, but again, you have to set all that stuff up. The other thought, there's another possibility. You can't place the neutral one until you have the other two ships on the board. You could place one here in recruit so you can move it to your loyalist faster. But there's also a card in the deck. I had it in my deck. It never came out. No, I didn't. Maybe I didn't have it. Did I? No. There's a card in Waterborne called Gala Storm that comes with a ship. She, though, says all cards that start in your recruit row from a starting position start in loyalist, and all loyalists start directly into allies. So the whole thing about Waterborne, slow down the opponent and speed up your own movements. That's what Waterborne is. But if you really look through this deck, there isn't a lot of afterlife. There isn't a lot of kills. You have to do things with movements, and it's clearly going to have weaknesses that can be exploited by the other factions. Because I mean, there's a few afterlife cards, but it doesn't have nearly that. It has a ton of round effects, but almost all face-up round effects, and it's got a ton of flexibility with movements, but it is very restricted. It operates completely different than all the other factions. I mean, it's absolutely a different faction, and even to Bloodcrown, it's more closer to like a Bloodcrown, Edge Hunter, Cloud Echo hybrid than it is any of the other. It's the furthest removed from the core factions that we could possibly do. But there's still a lot of work to go on it. I mean, that's why we have to do this every day. It takes a lot of time and effort to test through these cards, but you can kind of see he won one and I won one, and it was Bloodcrown versus Waterborne. So anyway, we're going to go eat, and then we will be back to testing, but we'll probably we've streamed enough probably today, but we'll probably do another one tomorrow. I mean, we're in a heavy test mode for the last two factions because we're actually going to advance on Bloodcrown and Waterborne way faster than Edge Hunter was able to be advanced, because we are going to be, well, we'll announce other things later. So anyway, thanks again for tuning in. Thanks, guys, for participating, those that did, and we hope you continue to learn more about Waterborne. So by the time it comes out, you guys have actually given us some ideas, and some of your ideas are in the cards.
Alrighty, see y'all later.
See you.